You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hey guys. Welcome to episode 16 of In Touch with Reality podcast. We have another special guest today, and she goes by the name of Yane, who is the owner of 100 Grand Barbershop in Brooklyn. How you doing today, girl?
Good.
That's good. That's good. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you come from?
Sure. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Yane, aka Barber Batty,
Okay.
and I'm the owner of 100 Grand Barbershop located in Brooklyn, 1012 Fulton Street.
Okay.
I've been a barber for about 14 years, and I've owned my own shop for about 8 years.
Okay.
And
That's what's up. What's up. You're doing your thing.
You said on Fulton Street?
Mm-hmm. Fulton Street between Classen and Grant Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar with the area.
It's a 1,500 square feet barbershop. We got a juice bar in the front.
Okay.
We have the main area where, we just have general community haircutting going on. We got barbers in that area, but then we have private rooms in the back where we have myself. I have a room, and 2 other barbers rent a room.
Okay.
From me. So it's a really nice barbershop.
And what goes on in the private rooms?
Haircuts.
Oh, okay. I thought there was something spicy going on,
Nah, it's just haircuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just strictly barbers. And we've had other people be, rent the rooms out. Like we've had cosmetologists, we've had nail techs there.
Okay.
What do you want me to
The
do?
mic.
Okay.
Yes. You can bring it up to me.
Okay, so yeah, it's different services that y'all offer there.
Well, we used to.
Okay.
Now it's just strictly haircutting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like a male-dominated industry. So how do you maneuver your way around in that type of industry? You're around a lot of guys. I know you hear different conversations. I know you've learned a lot from being around men, and what are some of the things that working with the guys that you've learned about men? Because I know you picked up on a lot.
Definitely. I would say when I first opened the shop, because I was so green. I think the first part of ownership, I didn't like what I was learning from men.
Right.
I think in the beginning, I was learning a lot of negativity from them,
Right.
I felt like every guy I met, I was meeting what he thought about women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was some version of a woman that he related to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I will say that I learned how to communicate with men early on.
Mm-hmm.
I realized when guys say things like, "What do you want?" They really want to know what you want.
Right. Okay.
That, all of that shit. I just feel none of that shit.
They wanted you to get straight to the chase.
They want you to tell them exactly what you want. You want dates on Tuesday? Say dates on Tuesday. Don't give them all this other stuff. You just tell them what they want.
Exactly. Right.
I also learned different ways to communicate. Some guys, when I would talk to them, they would receive it better if I spoke to them through text.
Okay.
Some guys wanted me to say it to
directly.
them.
Right.
Yeah, and just cut it short. And then some guys, they want to be able to talk first and then hear what you have to say.
So you learned that every guy is different. It shows you.
Yeah. At times it felt like I had a lot of boyfriends or something. Oh my gosh.
Because barbershop is like a man's home, a man cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like therapy for the men. We talk to each other.
Absolutely. I was spoiled as a kid because I had brothers, and then I grew up with guys that treated me like a sister.
Right.
So I went into this whole, venture thinking guys would just support me and nurture me. And
right.
Stuff
and
like
it's
that.
not like that. Right. Right. You really got to work hard for what you want in life and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Even if you do deal with a guy, I feel like you should be independent and still have your own,
Absolutely.
your own thing going on.
Absolutely.
Right. So what made you want to get in this industry? What is this a passion for you? Or
No,
is this
you know
something...
what? It's funny. My grandmother was a barber.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she was a barber before, early on when women were just not known for being barbers.
Okay.
And she worked at a military base in California, and I lived with her in California, and actually witness her cutting
okay.
hair.
Right.
But the funny thing was, is I forgot about that when I went to barber school. I just wanted to go to school.
It was in your blood already. That's why.
Yeah, I wanted to go to school,
So-
and this older lady told me, she was like, you don't want to retire. I was working for traffic. I was writing parking tickets.
Right.
And she was like,
okay.
you don't want to retire from this job. Go back to school and start your own business. I didn't think I would do exactly that, but that's
Mhm.
kind of what happened.
what
I
you
started
did.
looking into schools, and cosmetology was like 18 months.
Right.
And the financial aid would pay some of it, but you had to take
Still
out
pay for
loans.
some.
Take out
Right.
loans,
Right,
yeah.
where barber school was 6 months and financial aid took care of everything. I just had to pay $300.
That's good.
So
That's
I was
good.
like, I'm
so
gonna
you
do
went with
that.
the best route for you
Yeah.
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You know, college
okay.
keep you in the jam and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
College, it keep
Yeah.
you, keep you in the jam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you went the best route though with that.
Yeah, for me. And it's funny because the first day I walked in, the instructor that was there, he passed away, but he looked at me and said, "You gonna be nice."
Right. Right.
And I was like, "Oh, what?"
So,
So-
Right.
at what age it was you got your first? You did your first cut.
Shit. I was like, I had to be like 20, maybe like 26, 27.
right.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
How
I
you
don't
felt?
remember my
Like,
age.
How you felt after you done? When you finished with your first cut, how you felt?
Well, it's funny because I was working at as a traffic agent in the city. So in the city, I found a black barbershop in the city that it was like crazy because it was like I just stumbled across this black barbershop on my way back to the command.
Right.
And then I just started hanging out there.
Mhm.
So I actually was hanging out and kind of worked there for like a year.
Okay.
And I didn't cut any hair while I was there. I
Okay.
just watched them.
Mhm.
And so when I had quit my job in traffic and started working at a shop in Canarsie, and when I got there, it was like 4th of July weekend,
Mhm.
and all these kids were
traffic.
there. So
Yeah.
they just sent me all the kids, and I was just lighting them up, like,
Right.
and I was shocked. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm
Yeah.
cutting hair."
That's what's up. Yeah.
And they were saying to me, like, they were impressed. They were like, "Oh, we are impressed because there's so many people that start on their first day
Mhm.
and can't do what you just did." So
right. Right.
yeah, so I was proud of myself my first day.
Right.
That's
That's
good.
great. That's great. That's great. So, like I said, being in that type of industry, you working with the men.
Hmm.
What are some of the other things that you've learned? Like, as far like, what are some of the conversations that you would hear and you think?
Well, you know what? In the communal area, it
Mhm.
gets real ignorant. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you just gotta learn to let guys be ignorant. That's what they
Right.
want to do. They want to
Get
talk
ignorant.
about girls with big booties. They want to argue about Jay-Z or Biggie. Like, they want to do all that stuff. You just
Mhm.
wave at
You'd be surprised
everybody.
at the conversation we
Right,
have between
right,
guys.
right.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that I got my own room.
Right.
I
So
just
you can
walk
just
by
go.
and be like, all right, y'all. You know, all I ask is that I think the difference in me running the shop versus a man running the shop is that I do think I can control the environment a
a
lot
little
more.
better, right? Because they
Yeah.
have,
So
I
that-
think they have more respect for like a
Yes.
woman and stuff like that.
And it's
Yeah.
important to have barbers that respect women.
Right,
Because not all
exactly.
not all men feel the same way about women.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Right.
That's true because I have a few barbershop friends, and with Mel as being the owner,
Hmm.
like customers and certain people do come and disrespect it. Understand?
Mhm.
But as being a lady owner, they will have
Yeah.
more respect.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'll come in and be like, turn this off. TV be playing naked dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, turn this
Right,
off.
right,
The
right.
music be up really loud. I'd be like, turn this down. Like,
Right,
you
right.
know, we just it's not like I'm trying to control anything. I'm just
No.
trying to have
Keep it
respect.
professional and stuff
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
right?
Because
And
everything-
let them remind them of like this is still business, right?
Yeah, and everything falls on me, and it's worse
Right.
falling on me.
Mhm.
That's why I've tried to like never zeke anybody, because it's like, yo, your barber could zeke you, and you would never feel no kind of way. You'll just be like, oh, it was a bad cut that one
Right.
time.
Yeah.
I zeke you, and it's all women are terrible. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly. It's gonna be
So-
hard on you. Right,
so
right.
I try to just, walk that fine line of like making sure I do everything the right way.
Mhm.
And then like, running a barbershop, the Google reviews reflect me.
Mhm.
Everything
Yes.
reflects back
Yeah,
on
that's
me.
really
So
important.
Right.
I just try to keep the environment even. I
Right.
want barbers to be themselves, feel like yourself, be yourself in the environment, but also just have respect.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
I feel you.
Yeah, something that I've learned from barbers, we were talking about it not too long ago, but like, I mean, from working with men,
hmm
one thing that I've been very passionate about lately
Mhm.
is just men's mental health.
hmm
I think that
Yeah, you said you was working on something that what was it again? It was a project like you were trying to do.
I don't remember what I told you.
Because I know you have a couple of things going on, but
Yeah.
like let's finish this. What you were saying? about
So during the pandemic, they shut down barbershops,
right.
right? And at first, the barbers were pissed off because we get trained in like, you know, cleanliness. Like
Right.
we can't. When we take our state board test, and we have to show them that we know how to be clean barbers.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every barber is clean.
That's
but
the barber side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
okay.
So, but we start learning how to do these things in barber school. So
Right.
barbers, I felt like, we felt some kind of way that they shut us down. But they did close down like hair salons.
Yeah,
They
too.
closed
Also,
down
they did.
barbershops,
Mhm.
nail salons. They closed
Mhm.
down
Yeah, a lot
spas.
of business
Yeah, it was a lot of
closed.
salons that were closed, not only.
But let me
Mhm.
ask you something. Out of all those things that I mentioned, how many of them do men actually frequent?
Yeah,
the
not too
haircut.
many.
Just the barber.
Right, the
Mhm.
barber.
Mostly women go to nail salons, hair salons, and spas.
Mhm.
Men only have the
A
barber
barbershop.
shop.
Right.
So I wasn't even thinking
Some
about.
men we do nails too though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
but
men
they
do
make most
nails.
men
Self-care
really
for men. So we do
right.
take
That's
care
a
of nails.
newer thing.
And
One.
pedicures too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't keep
I'm
it.
not
Don't keep us
knocking
out of
y'all.
there. Don't keep us out
I'm
of
not
there.
knocking y'all.
But she's
All
saying
right.
that's not like the
It's
main
not.
place
Yeah,
that
small
y'all go
ratio,
to. That's
small
more like
ratio.
If you had
Yeah.
just enough money to get your hair cut or your nails done,
you're gonna get your hair
you're gonna
cut.
get your hair cut.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, men's self-esteem and a lot of their confidence comes from
The way they look.
the
Their
way,
appearance.
yeah, their appearance.
Exactly, yeah,
And it's
correct.
not like a vanity thing; it's a real confidence thing.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, for them to disregard that as a mental health issue and just say, "Oh well, barbershops are closed down," but not have it some way that
They could
barbers,
still
could,
have-
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I mean, people were willing to risk their health and their safety to
Yeah.
get a haircut because
Mhm.
men still have to work.
Mhm, But they
Right.
still couldn't stop it because at the end of the day,
They was going
they
like
still improved with the barbershop because people got vans as businesses for barbershop.
Yeah,
I seen
Mhm.
that happen,
and people was doing house calls.
House
Like
I
even
think
when
vans are dumb.
even when
I
like
think
the
house calls are dumb.
even when
it
the
was
nails
just for the pandemic moment.
Mhm.
For the
I
pandemic
think.
moment.
Well, I mean, it worked as far as like safety protocol
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like
Just
that.
for that, for the
like
moment.
even with my nails, they shut down all the nail salons, but I found someone who comes to you. It was a little expensive, but
Mhm.
she did a great job, a
Oh,
really
that's
good
nice.
job. Yeah.
Your
She
nail
just-
techs came up. During
Yes,
the
they were. We
pandemic.
was still. They was like, "How you get your nails done,
You
girl?"
knocking on.
You
bringing
know, I'm a
12,
find. I'll
8,
find a way.
Like, how do I get to your apartment? They
Right,
came
right.
up during that time, but
Right.
Mhm.
but what I realize is that men don't have a lot of places where they can actually like build their confidence and their self-esteem
Yeah,
at.
barbershop's
And the
number
barbershop
one.
is the number
That's the
one
number
place.
one
place.
And I mean, it's like a rites of passage type of place. Like
It's a piece.
the
It's a piece.
fathers bring their sons,
Mhm.
and then eventually the sons start going there on their
Yeah,
own.
the basketball court is the second one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or any sports.
And even guys who don't have a father figure,
Right.
they'll tend to go to the barbershop to get that type of
get that.
support.
Yeah, I feel like
You know what I'm
it's a place
saying?
where guys
You
also
always find
bond.
something in the barbershop.
They
Yeah.
bond. They get to know each other. Like
Mhm.
you'll have a conversation in the barbershop and you don't even know like a whole hour go through there. Like I gotta go. My girlfriend wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they feel so comfortable
Yep.
and like So yeah,
Like
I
in the
understand
barbershop,
that.
the movie with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really like
that.
a home.
Yeah.
Like it's really
It
like
is a home.
Yeah.
it's really like a home. You know,
And
It's
especially
part of the
when
community.
Right.
And I think me being a woman too, like the environment that I tried to create inside of the shop feels very homely.
And then guys love that, like, because we're women are automatically we're nurturers.
Yeah.
So when a woman owns a business, I feel like it's more like has a homey feeling.
Yeah.
Or whenever she owns anything, I feel like it has that touch on it that makes
Right.
you more comfortable.
Yeah.
What opposed to like if a guy owned it or something, like we
Mhm.
have that touch. Like when it comes to homes,
Yeah.
we'll make a house a home, we'll make a business
Absolutely.
a real,
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
feel like when you're doing like a huge business or whatever type of business, I think a woman should always be a part of that because it's like we have that
Absolutely.
touch to make you more comfortable,
Absolutely. I definitely think men
That
and women have
comfortability
to
touch,
work
right?
harder
Mhm.
at partnering.
I think this mic is on.
You can speak.
Speaking to the mic.
State your name.
Julius Bangs. Yeah, suffering from mental issues. I gotta say, y'all touched a specific topic when it comes to brown and darker colored men. When you look at the movie Barbershop, I think that's one thing I do love about Ice Cube and Cube Vision is that he tackled a lot of subjects that go on in our environments without being too graphic to get that point across, like Players Club. It was not a rape scene, but we all knew what happened.
Right.
We know that in the barbershop, what he's trying to do is articulate ways with his staff to grow as business owners, as people in this environment and what it means. And why big franchises that not even thinking what he's trying to say, like, look, big franchises would take over this because it's so, like you said, a mental issue. If you grow up and you don't have parents or you go through whatever you go through and you enter a barbershop, it's different for you. Barbershop, when you think of a barbershop, I'm sorry, you don't think of somebody that doesn't have kinky hair or doesn't have a certain complexion. Let's be serious.
Right.
So when you tackle mental issues, that's our community.
That's right.
That's not all men.
Yeah.
That's where we have to separate the line, because when do we start working on us? Like you said,
absolutely.
Coming the pandemic, we didn't have a voice. Being a mother, being a woman, you was able to do what Ice Cube couldn't do inside the movie.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He turn the volume down. Nigga, what? Because he's a man. You know what we go through, man. We need this. Basically, we have our own. We know what we're talking about without talking about it.
When
it's
a woman's
on a plantation, you can't say certain things. You have to have signals. So to have a mother or have a bond with a woman is very detrimental, because they taught that from those times.
Right.
So to have a woman orchestrate things that's for men, and give them their man cave, but remind them that in order to keep it, you have to respect.
You have to have a level of
structure.
You're going to continue to
professionalism. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I always say that I thought I was opening a barbershop, but I became a businesswoman. Right. Like I didn't know that I was opening a business. I thought I was opening a barbershop.
Right. You looking at it different now once you behind that door. Right?
Yeah. And I thank God that like all the years that I've worked, it's always been customer service.
Right.
So that is a plus. And every job I had, I was the top salesperson.
Right.
So like sales is in me. So greeting people, and
you just have that that
like,
in you, right?
Yeah, it's in me. So working at my shop is kind of a thing. And I've had barbers that I've had to work with, like kind of transform, like, hey, listen, dress a little bit like better. And if that wasn't getting through, I'd make a dress code for everybody. Everybody just wear all black.
Right.
Like everybody wear all black. Just so
you just wanted to have a little more professionalism. You don't want everybody
because some people
they'll come with some.
They just coming from where they come from, and they could be good people, but they just have
they have situation they come from.
Absolutely. So
and some people don't have no one to direct them and talk to them. You also like a mother figure for the men that. Not a mother figure, but like I said, we're like the female figure, so we're mothers, we're this and that, so we always have that. Bring that structure.
They call me the fearless leader at my shop. Well, at least Dave does, one of my barbers. Right. He's always like, our fearless leader.
So you just cut?
I'm a barber. I cut, I do facials.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Right.
Oh, look in the camera, my bad.
That's your camera.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. You braid your hair, do hair, braid?
I braid my own hair. I don't braid. Okay,
you braid that?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
I got this done, but I'll braid my own hair. But I don't know. I don't want to say I don't get along with women, because I do, but I'm just not really. I'm just not super into dealing with women professionally.
Right. Me neither.
It's a lot.
You see who I got as my co-host?
Carmelo either. Yeah, I'm about to say.
You see who I had as my co-host?
Honestly,
because I was even on another podcast right before this one. I was dealing with someone else, and it was like I got my makeup done. There was a problem. It was like, oh, I'm trying to outshine people, and I'm just being me. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I whenever I feel like that I can't be me somewhere, and I can't, like this is just me. I'm not trying to outshine nobody. I am who I am. And if I feel like I can't be me and someone's stopping me from being me, then I get away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because that shows me that they have insecurities they need to work on. And
nobody got time for negativity.
Yeah, I don't need to be around that, you know? We can all wear whatever we want to wear. Why, you know? So everybody has their own. So I understand what you're saying about that. Like, I'm not really into doing business with with women anyway, with women either, because it's always like a little static. You know, you do something a little better, you look a little better, you know. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather do business with male or with a male.
Yeah. It's really culture.
Because if the same male is not on the same page, it's really gonna lead to more competition.
Yeah, and I see. I'm the type of woman. I feel like is enough space for everybody to be a boss.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of woman I am. But every woman doesn't feel that way. They just feel like they want to be the one to shine.
Well, insecurity plays a big role, in men and women.
Yes, men are very insecure.
Insecurity.
Hold on. Not every man.
Not every man. Some men.
Can I
every man? Of course.
You know what's really? I got a mic on. You can talk to.
Gotcha.
The tomboy thing. I think what we're forgetting is it was a time where we had tomboys.
Yeah.
Certain guys that were real men guys, like we loved the tomboy. We just had to figure out who you were.
Yeah.
Like y'all would get on the basketball court with us. It was always one female that would just do that.
That's a fact.
And it was no animosity. It was just like, can you stay here? Can you take it? And once we realized, you was just a tomboy, you were just as tough as us, it was accepted. It was not a problem.
Accepted.
Right.
Then we became more protective of the tomboy. But it seemed like tomboys started liking their best friend or the guys that they're around, and they started dressing up and look at y'all look pretty. We forgetting that y'all tomboys. We don't know that.
Right.
We start thinking y'all just being aggressive just to be aggressive. You just gotta remind us, like, oh no, I like basketball too. Like, keep conversation going with us, like a friendship. We just need more friendships.
Yeah.
I agree.
You still more.
Do you feel like in your shop sometimes that, like, do you feel like the guys get intimidated by you, like, you know, like
no,
you don't feel that way? No, okay.
Men love me,
right. Because I know you have some guys that
energy. You have great energy.
I think I've had customers come in and they're very apprehensive. As a barber, I can't stand when someone is telling me how to cut their hair.
Right.
You know, I've gotten used to it, but it's something that really irks me because it's like I'll be like, so what are we doing with your hair today? And then the conversation is, so you're going to take a 2 and then you're going to come down like this and you're going to do this and then you're going to shape me up.
You know why? Because you're a woman. So they be feeling like you really, they want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Even though.
You go inside. I don't even say the number. I want a dark season.
You know what you want already.
Well, it's a community. Listen, the reason why I don't like trip on it is because it's a communication thing. Barber language is a language. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what a 2 is, and you don't know how a 2 is going to look on your hair texture. Right. So people say a lot of stuff. They show me a picture and then I have to break down okay, detail. I see the picture you're showing me, but let me just let you know this person on the picture got enhancements.
Right.
This person on the picture, this looks like a man unit to me. Your hair is not as thick. And if you want me to use enhancements, let me know. Like it's a whole different type of language and people. So I like customers that just come in and trust me.
Exactly. Like, that's what I was going to say. You just feel like, okay, you don't trust me. But like I said, you're a woman. So they're going to always going to have that question mark right there and want to feel comfortable, you know, even though you know, and everybody else around you probably know you do a great job, but if they're just coming to you, they want to be like, okay, this is a woman. Does she really know what she's doing? You know?
Yeah. It's funny because some customers I'm like super quiet with.
Right.
Like they don't know nothing. And then one day, like the ice will break and I just start talking and then we become really close, you know? I've gone through like divorces with my customers. Like I had a customer from the day he came in, I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, my wife just said she wanted to divorce me. And I cut his hair through that whole like 3-year process.
Wow.
I've had customers, I still have customers that I was cutting their hair when they were just dating, went to the engagement, went to the wedding, cut their hair for the wedding. So I believe that like
build a bond with them.
Yeah.
It's like really, that's what I say, it's like a therapy because people sit down And once a person get comfortable with you, they're gonna let you know a little inside of their life, what they're going through. And if they sense like that type of energy with you, like that's like with me. People come and tell me a lot of stuff, like out of nowhere. Because it's like an energy that you have, so they'll feel like they're comfortable with you, you know, and you know,
they open up to you. And that's what I usually do in the barber.
Well, men don't open. I wouldn't necessarily say men open up, but they definitely like feel comfortable. Yeah,
but
some men just don't tell. They don't tell nothing.
Nothing, right?
I was cutting somebody's hair for at least 2 years now. And what happened was he was a referral from his other friend.
Right.
So I got my customer, let's just call him Chris. I got my customer, Chris. He's a referral from Jason.
Right.
I've been cutting Chris hair for 2 years. I've been cutting Jason hair for 3. You get me?
Okay.
One day Chris comes in, Chris books a cut, but Jason books a cut right before him. So they don't know that they're both coming in.
Right.
Jason comes in, I cut his hair, and I'm like, oh, Chris is coming in right after you. And then next thing you know, it turns into a whole kickback.
Right, my homeboy here.
We taking shots. I'm taking 3 hours on this haircut. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just chilling, right?
And that's when my customer starts telling me like,
that's when you know you're doing a great job.
He done broke up with his girl. They done moved out. I'm like, you come here every week, bro. And you going through all of this and you haven't said nothing to me. And he's like, nah, he didn't know he could talk to me. So there's a thing. And that's kind of why I'm sensitive towards men. I think women are rough on men. I really do. I think women are rough. I think that I'm pro man, but I'm also pro woman. So I'm not gonna be one of those girls that's gonna be like, y'all dumb hoes. Right. You know, I hate when girls like when women want to
you don't have to communicate. You don't have to download.
Because women just don't know. They don't know the answers. You could be like, you're dumb if you think this, that, and the third, and you think this, that, and the third. Like, we just don't have the answers. And we don't understand how to apply it because the world has taught us, and men have taught us, to be like, to think a certain way, to be like crybabies. Like right now, a woman, I could start crying right now and all the men in the room would be like, it's all right. Give me tissue. You get what I'm trying to say? So women are taught to lead with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? And by both parties, by women and men in society in general, where men have to take on a lot of the responsibilities.
And hold a lot in.
Yes. As a business,
much more.
As a business owner, I started to recognize that within myself. Like, I'm a business owner. Nobody knows what I go through. Half the people that I talk to, a lot of people don't have their own business. So they really don't understand.
Yeah, when you have a business.
And so a lot of times I'm dealing with, you know, one person will come and talk to me and be unhappy. Another person come talk to me, be unhappy. I'm trying to fix 2 problems at one time. Oh, the bills are due. The rent is due. You know, I got my own life taken care of.
And
then somebody's booking me to come in for an appointment. And I got to be like, what's up? How you want your hair today? And I just
and you're going through
deal with it. And I realized like, this is a lot of what men go through because they sit in my chair. They don't say nothing. They don't look troubled. They don't. And then when you get them to open up, you find out they're like dealing with a whole lot. So I realized like I have compassion on men in that sense. You know what I mean? Like I don't always, I feel like some things, everybody brings their own problems into their life. And it's really how you look at your problems and how you choose to deal with them. But I definitely think that women in general, they don't understand like how men view the world. You know what I mean? How they view their own
But
issues.
I also feel like, I totally agree with that. And I also feel like men should open up a little bit more and let us know stuff. Because I guess that like society teaches them to
we don't open up to
society.
It take a lot for us
teaches them to be so strong, and you know you can't cry and you can't, you know, show emotion, and that's a lot what goes on. Even in I feel like if you're that way, that you bring that into your relationship, you bring that into other things too. So it's not only about, you know. So I feel like that, you know, women and men have things they need to work on, but I feel like men should be more like, you know, be able to, because a lot of men don't know how to communicate their feelings and communicate. So we don't really know stuff. You'll ask a question and they still sometimes won't tell you what's going on.
No, but sometimes not that we don't know
because they feel like they don't want to feel like they're weak or something like that. But
we don't want to communicate.
Sometimes it's good to communicate because you have you get a person get a better understanding, and then we know how to deal with certain situations. We know what you're going through. We know
communication is like very much a 2-way street.
Yes.
Right.
So women don't know how to communicate that well either. And then it's also a language, right? So like it's the same thing as being a barber, right? There's man language and then there's women language.
Right.
And we kind of don't kind of understand each other's language.
Right.
And so men are more simple in communication. So when I talk to guys, especially guys that I date, I'm very like clear in my communication and very simple in my points.
Right.
Like I don't drag on. I don't want to do. If I have
make you
to,
confused, we can make this clear and lay it down.
It's almost like I talk. It's almost like I talk in bullet points versus conversations. It's like I just get straight to it.
Right. That's like with me.
Like I'm very much like, hey, I don't like when you say this.
Right.
Period. I don't get into the whole you make me feel small. Yeah. They don't care about any of that. Oh, you don't like when I said what? That's the, you know what I mean?
The main thing.
And then it's like, oh, when you said A, B, and C. Okay, my bad. Very simple. Right. So, but men do open up. They just open up on their time. And the
with who they feel comfortable with, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, they have to feel like they could trust you and to feel more comfortable with you, you know, to open up. And I think they try to find us out first to see, all right, let me see if I tell her this, how would she look at me, or how would she still? Yeah. So they try to find out what type of female we are first to know, like, all right, like, what if I tell I'm going through this?
I think good men take their time to open up. And I think women just rush the process. We want to know everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Do you like me? Do you like my hair? Did you like?
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I think you should let things flow.
No,
like,
but you're 100% right about that.
The problem is that I think that women, one thing that I've learned, right? And I've learned this because I actually got a life coach, and she started teaching me how to like do self-love practices.
Right.
And I realized like self-love, there's a difference. Like to me, there's self-like and then there's self-love. Self-love is hard work. Self-like is like, I'm gonna get my nails done. I'm going to the spa next weekend. Like that's all of that stuff is fun.
Right.
But when you have to choose, when you have to take responsibility for your own feelings, like, no, literally your happiness is you. If something's not making you happy, you have to do something about it. You cannot make a man make you happy. And that's a self-love issue, because what happens is with self-love, we want you to stop acting bad so that we don't have to choose ourselves.
Right.
We're like, you're hurting me. Do better. Right. But the truth of the matter is,
we can leave and then we're choosing ourselves. That's how you love yourself.
I need you to give you a trophy before
the things that you allow in a relationship.
It's hard work.
Yeah, the things that you allow, and it shows that you don't love yourself. You know, so why would a man love you if you're allowing me to do this to you and you're okay with it or anything like that? So you have to be able to love somebody. You can love them, but you have to know how to choose yourself. Like, okay, I love this person, but they're not good for me. So I have to walk away, because if I stay with this person, this could, I'm not going to progress, or I'm not going to get nowhere, or I spoke to them a million times, they're not getting it. I love them, but I have to go. I feel like that's self-love, because that's something hard to do.
It is.
When you love somebody, you have to leave them because of something that, that's hard to do. But when you could do that and walk away and really be stern in your decision, that's self-love. You love yourself more.
Because the heart and the mind is always at war. Right. Like, it sounds so easy to be like, choose yourself. But then when you're in it, you're just like God damn, I ain't want to break up with you.
But sometimes you have to do that.
But you're making me feel like I got to break up with you. Like, and that's where the battle comes in, because you're just like, yo, I just want you to treat me the way I want to be treated.
But you can't make nobody treat you a certain way. That has to come within themselves.
If they don't value you or see that value in you, then you have to remove yourself.
That's it.
And then they always see it when you're
going.
As soon as you leave, they see the value. They be like, damn.
That's life within itself, though.
Yeah, and you have to know you're valuable. You have to know, like, okay, hey, go ahead, go out there and do what you're doing. See if you find somebody better. That's self-love. When you know your worth and you know you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing as a woman. If I know I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman, and I'm me in every subject as a woman, I'm cooking, and you're still doing stuff, then that's something you have to work on within yourself, right?
Yep.
So then I have to get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's like an issue you need to work on with yourself.
Absolutely.
And I even tell people, I say, listen, because a lot of people put themselves down because of how other people treat them. I say, listen, when other people treat you wrong or treat you bad, you have to learn grace. You have to learn that has nothing to do with you. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't make you not a good person. They are damaged. Exactly. That has something to do with them. Exactly. So and then a lot of people get depressed, like, oh my God, he did this to me. He did this to me. I'm doing everything right. No, okay. So that should go to show you that's him or that's her. And you remove yourself. And you should not feel no type of way about it because you know that you did what you're supposed to do. And you shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's
boundaries.
You know? Yeah, you have to have boundaries.
I always feel like you should teach your kids how to have boundaries.
Right.
Because it's really hard to become an adult and then tell people, especially when you're, as a child, you're taught sharing is caring.
Right.
You know, give. And she acts nicely.
But
she
it has
said,
to have a limit to that.
But if you don't want to do something, just say no, right? If you don't like something, just point it out. Like, I don't like this. And then stand on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
But a lot of times having boundaries in relationships, those lines can get very thin. Or we were just playing, now you're playing too rough. I should have never played with you in the first place, right? It's like these things you think about. And a lot of times people don't even know what the boundary is until someone steps on it.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, that's a boundary.
I didn't know that was there.
Right. Like we don't do this over here.
Right.
And then having boundaries, morals and standards, you're gonna lose a lot of people. You're gonna lose a lot of close people. You're gonna lose a lot of relationships because
if they don't have the same morals,
if they don't have the same thing, then they're gonna feel like, oh, who she thinks she is. She thinks no, I think I'm somebody. Those whoever you're doing that to, they don't care about themselves.
Yeah, no.
And I said if someone doesn't have any moral standards, boundaries, you should not even want to associate yourself with that person because that means they'll fall for anything. They'll fall for anybody. They don't stand for nothing. Why would you want to be with somebody like that? Then that goes to show that you're just a manipulator.
Yeah.
And you deal with those. You like to deal with people who's on a lower level, so you're able to manipulate them. And and when you sit down at night, you should know who you are. Because I'm one thing about me, I'm gonna point out to the person who they are. I'm gonna let you know who you are.
Some people are not self-aware, but
some people aren't self-aware.
They're not.
And that's why my podcast is In Touch with Reality, because we're gonna bring things to reality. The things that people don't think about on that conscious level, or they're not in touch with that. There's a lot of people who's delusional in this world.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who knows what is right, but they don't care. They just
that's true.
I know this is right, but I don't care. Be doing wrong is so easy.
I think that's perfect what you're talking about. When you bring that up, what do you think about do y'all play sports?
No, my son plays sports. She plays sports. She plays football.
I play football.
You play football?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she played football. We didn't think about that. Oh my God, this is gonna be a long interview.
Not yet. Oh, so you agree with playing with the trans or against? Or do you think they need their own league or something? Or what do you think?
They need their own league.
Did you ever get hurt?
So first of all,
sorry,
I got fake hurt.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. So this was my rookie season. So I'm number 55.
Okay.
I'm the left guard for the O-line.
Oh shit!
For the New York Wolves.
Okay.
It's a all women's football team.
What do y'all play at?
New York. Our home field is in Farmingdale, Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah. Tackle.
No
tackle.
flag.
Ooh, girl.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I played tackle football, and I started last year January. I started going to mini camp, and then after mini camp, the season starts in April. And we basically played through the summer, and we won our championship. We went undefeated.
Oh, your first
9
year playing?
zips. My first year playing.
Wow.
And I've never played football. I've never played any organized sport.
What made you try it?
Right. What made you start football?
You guys, I told you I have a barber shop and it has a juice bar in it.
Right.
I sometimes rent the juice bar out. Like, let's say somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, can I rent your space to sell smoothies and things like that? I'll let them do it.
Right.
So I had this mom and son who made alkaline vegan food. Mm-hmm. And one of my teammates is an alkaline vegan. So I seen these 2 girls come into the shop, and I just overhear them talking about football. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at them. They look so different. And I'm just like, what sport do these 2 play? So I asked them, and they were like, football. And I was like, soccer? And they was like, no.
Football.
I was just in shock because I never,
like a woman.
When I was growing up, I wanted to play football, and they wouldn't let me,
right?
Because there was no women playing football. Mm. So to know that there's actual a league, sorry. So to actually know that there's a league and, you know, things like that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to come to practice. And when I went to practice, I like fell in love. I mean, you got girls kicking the football, catching the football. It was just like magical.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it was therapeutic for me too, because I was coming off of a time in my barbershop where I had a lot of women in the shop, more than I've had. It wasn't a lot, but it was women.
Are you the only women in your shop
right now? Yes.
Cutter? But you had other women cutters before.
I had a female barber before. I had a hairstylist and I had a nail tech all at the same time.
Okay.
And relationships started to fail.
Right.
And I actually didn't want them in my shop anymore.
Right.
So
women, I can't.
Yeah, working with your own kind.
Yeah, you know what it is too.
What do you think it was?
Culture. Mm-hmm. You think a barber and hairstylist are like brother and sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think because you're a woman barber and that you meet a hairstylist that you guys would click because you guys got this, you're kind of in the same industry.
Right.
But it's a different culture. Hair salon culture is different than barbershop culture. Yeah. I'm not a catty woman. I don't care what you got on. I'm not judging your clothes.
Right.
I'm not judging any of those things. And a lot of
women,
right.
And I was just telling you that'd be the problem.
And a lot of times people think that when you're that you're supposed to look a certain type of way, but you don't know business if you think I'm supposed to look like if you think I'm supposed to be dripped out every day because I own this shit, then you don't understand what ownership is.
That's why you probably don't have no money. That's why she probably don't have no money because you own things. You don't have to look no bad. Right.
No, it's just that people don't understand leadership is based in service.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be, how can I serve people in heels and a dress every goddamn day?
Exactly.
How can, you know what I mean? I don't care what I look like. These bills is expensive.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? And so that culture is different. The worker, and it's hard because when you rent somebody out a room, they feel like they're the boss in a sense, but it gets a little, it's complicated, especially when you don't respect the environment and you don't respect me because you're looking at it from your
because
point
you know
of
why females don't like when they don't like they it's only could be one queen of the castle, and I believe in that also.
I agree.
It only could be one. No matter how much you feel like it can be other bosses. Yeah. Like you have to be on the same page, or you have to find people that's like.
There was a few queens.
You have to find people like you, who understands, who's not in competition, who get the big picture, who knows, that this is business. This is not a competition. A lot of females want to compete.
That's true.
A lot of females want to compete, and you're
Women
not even thinking about
big
them.
Ass egos. Yes. That mostly go unchecked,
especially when men is around also, and then there's other men around, so now they want to show up for the guys. They want to act like a little sassy. Oh, you ain't running me, like especially it just be a lot.
Women have egos that go unchecked, and that's for real. Like,
they do.
And I'm not saying, and I'm not bashing women because I love women, like I really do. But it's just like some of the stuff that we have going on inside of us, we have to fix. Exactly. Women don't like being told no. They don't like being rejection. I could go to a man, a barber in my shop, and be like, "Yo, listen, we're all wearing pink tomorrow." But if I go to the woman and be like, "Oh, we're all wearing pink," I have to explain exactly why in every detail and have her feel like she agreed.
Right. You know, they don't like to be told anything. They want to feel like.
Exactly.
You know how you tell somebody to do something, they'll do it, but they'll take their time, or they'll just because they don't like to be told anything.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like if you don't like that, you go get your own business. Because whenever you're working with somebody, if you're living under somebody's roof, if you're doing anything, you have to be told something. So that's why I had to be a boss, because I don't mind being told anything, but I just be I have my own creativity, so. It's like, I have to have my own space. You know, I can't, and I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. I'm just very creative. You know what?
It's also my fault for a lot of this stuff because I didn't set boundaries.
Right.
I'm super cool. It's hard to
they're your friend instead of you a boss.
Yeah. When you go into TJ Maxx, you don't see the owner of TJ Maxx. When you go into Chase Bank, you don't even see the bank manager half the time. So, for me to actually work in my business and own the business, it's really hard to not
you be trying to be. You don't want to be. Yeah, you don't want to be too strict, but you don't want to be too cool.
And not only that, but when I had the women in my shop, I was very happy. I was like, "Oh, girls are here," and I wanted to be friends with them.
They're not looking at it like that, though.
No, sometimes it's not. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Sometimes you still have to let people know.
It goes back again to they feel like in competition because you're in a bigger position than them. So
some people just think that they're better.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't know if it's competition
and then the jealousy,
or not. They just think
the jealousy from the relationship that you have with people around you.
Yeah,
that's another thing that they bring envy to them.
Yeah, so after I let the women go, like the barbers in the shop, they kept saying to me, "No more women, Yane. You don't get along with them."
Right.
And it was hurting my feelings. Like, I was just like, I can get along with women.
Yeah, you can. I understand what you're saying.
That?
And I understand exactly what you're saying because I go through the same thing, girl. I go through the same
because
thing.
It's like, am I a red flag? Like,
no, it's not that. It's that because
it's
your shit. So now you have to get confident women to come, like, well, you have to get, I mean, if you get women, they have to be women that's like,
you was accepted,
want to help you build up.
It's culture.
Exactly.
So they kept saying this to me, and I kept feeling like, damn, like I feel bad. Like when you feel like you did the right thing, but somehow you still feel bad.
You made a business decision. What you did,
right?
You made a business decision.
Right.
It's not personal. It's business. Like you did what was best for you.
Let's be honest. It's not a lot of females that can play that position. Like you are one of them. I'm not saying that it's not
absolutely
impossible. But think about it. If it was
and I could
what
tell
it was
she's
for
so
you,
sweet.
if it was what it was for you to get into this business and break the ice and do what you do, think about how long is it going to be before you find another you that you can work with, and that's going to actually be like she's somewhere else doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
like you're scattered out. It's going to be a while before it gets a grooming situation where it can be a multifaceted business.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. God had to check me too. Because like even with my juice bar, right? The juice bar that I created, it wasn't no juice bar in the front of my shop. I built it.
Right.
I have a big shop. It had this little reception area in the front. And when I first got the shop, I had a contract with Martell.
Right.
So Martell was sending me liquor to promote in the barbershop. So all I had to do was give it out for free and take pictures.
You're not across the street from the school?
No, I'm across.
So you could ship on that other barbershop, the two barbershop.
No, I'm across the street.
Because I always drive by there, so that's why I'm trying to picture.
I'm across the street from where the bank in the dentist.
Biggie School. I mean, Park. They made Biggie.
I'm on the same side as Biggie's Park. So I'm like literally, I'm like between Downing and Irving.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I'm across the street. So yeah. So I had Martell license, but I had a contract with them, and they were sending me liquor. So when the pandemic happened, because we moved in right before the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, then I just remember the vibe we had. I would be standing behind the counter, giving out shots, and people would just be talking and laughing, and everybody would just feel good. You come in, you get a haircut, you leave with a shot. Everybody was just happy. So when the pandemic happened, I just went into like, let me build this out because people weren't gonna allow. Like, it wouldn't make sense to sell food in a barbershop or drinks in a barbershop. Yeah. You had to make a division, a divider.
Health reason.
Right. So I completely divided the shop. I put this big glass window, like 9 feet window, so that you could actually...
come check it out. I'm going to come down here one day.
So that you could actually
take my
look
son,
through. I put doors there so that you can't just walk into the shop. You
want it to look like it's two separate businesses.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's nice. You did a good job.
I had an idea like that before.
You did a good job.
Be in the barbershop.
Don't be trying to copy her idea.
That's what they all say. I had the same idea.
No, look, I
thought of it first.
They all say.
No, I wasn't pursuing that. It was just I just thought of an idea like that because my best friend, he was a barber, and I always been in every barbershop he's been to.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Staffer, my son Staffer and shit.
Okay, yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, so I said then they need to divide and have something else.
But I think that's so cool. Like, I think what you're doing is so cool.
Yes.
I like to say congratulations on bringing something into fruition that you actually.
Thank you.
And that was tangible, just like your 9-0 record.
Right.
And many other things.
So like going back to the thing, like I kept renting it out because as a business owner, it makes sense. Like, I don't know how to make a smoothie. You know what I mean? Like I never worked I'm not a barista. I don't know how to do none of this stuff. So you know what? Let me just rent it out.
Right.
So I would rent it out to people, but it never worked. I ran it one time, and in the first week, I was making $400, $500 back to back, and nobody could seem to keep the formula going.
You were thinking about mental health,
but I had to exactly because I called my barbershop the first health and wellness barbershop in Brooklyn.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Right. So thank you. So anyway, I would rent it out because it's hard for me to be the barber and the person in the front, things like that. But every time it doesn't work, it's almost like God keeps saying to me, it's yours. You keep giving it away.
Right.
And that's the part that I've had to learn in the last, maybe within the last year, is that you can't just bring people into this environment.
Right.
This environment, my barbershop is so fire. It's so dope. Like the chairs is dope. You don't see my chairs in other barbershop. Right. The whole shop is just dope. Right. Everybody can't appreciate what you put into this. They don't even understand where you came from. I was on Grant Avenue in Fulton in a shop that was 300 square feet for 4 years before I moved around the corner to Fulton Street to a 1,500 square feet business. So people don't understand the beginning.
Right. They don't understand the struggle.
And they come in and they get a big head. So, okay. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna tie back into football.
We got
all the way off topic, but
it's okay.
So I had to let people go based on what was best for the business, like you said, because it was a blessing that God gave to me. And if you're going to be in my space, you got to appreciate it.
You can't let everybody around you. Like, even when God is trying to bless you, you can't have certain people around you because they can stop your blessings. Truth. So when you bring in certain people
think your blessings is theirs, and it's not.
Right. They
Go
start
and pray on your own.
Exactly. Right. They feel like they try to take over, or they try to think they forget, like, okay, and you always have to be,
you got to remind them.
Right. You have to remind, and you can't be afraid to do that as a business person. And that's why a lot of people don't like me, and I don't care because I'm very outspoken. Like, I'm not going to let you play with me. I'm a Cancer.
Oh, yeah. I like Cancer.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, you're an Aries.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, you Tiffany's sign.
What month are you?
Yeah,
Tiffany's
sign. March.
You're March.
March 27th.
Oh, God. I don't like them people.
It's okay.
So, right?
What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, the fire signs, though.
I like Aries are fun. I like Aries because they're like fun. They're like really fun.
I always say Aries and Cancers are very similar. We just opposite.
Right. We're a little similar.
Because Aries and Cancers, we are emotional signs. We love our families. We'll fuck you up for our families and our friends.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We just go about it different ways. Like Cancers would rather be in the home chilling and doing domesticated stuff. I want to leave the home.
Right.
And come back when I feel like it, right?
Right. That's true.
And then, like, with Cancers,
Aries are more adventurous. They are so adventurous. They they love outside. They like to be.
But we really do love being home.
Yeah,
we love to go out and
they
do
like the mix.
stuff.
Yeah,
they like both at the same time.
So like,
and they like to
have that.
They want to be kids. No, they like to be kids forever too.
Yeah, and it's and we like Cancers because Cancers would be like, you said you was on a budget, you ain't buying that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
We fuck
because
with
that's how we do.
We
We know how to. We save. We know how to keep our. Yeah.
But the difference is that like Aries, we pretend we're tough. We look like, fight me. But we just be like, oh, please don't leave me. Cancers be like, you want to fight? Like, on the low. Cancers will be like, you going to love it here, but I'll fuck you up.
Right.
And nobody knows that.
They don't know that. Exactly. So when people see my other side, they be like, I fucked them up when I see my other side because I'm so sweet. No, we're sweet people. We're so nice. We're so nice that when people do, like, because we don't, we're very like organized people. Like, we're very like.
They say, I love you, and then smack you in the back of the head. Boom!
No, we do. But the smack was love. Okay?
What?
The smack came from love.
5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, let me get to the football thing. So anyway, after letting the girls go, whatever, these girls come into my shop. They bring me into this football team. Right. And I fall in love. And I realize that it's not that I can't get along with women. It's the type of women that I'm around.
Exactly.
And my football team has been nothing but great women. And going back to his question about playing with transgender, because most of the team is LGBTQ community. And I'm okay with that. The funny thing is I didn't even...
really?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about it when I joined football. But then when I got there, I was like, I gotta let them know I'm straight. Like, you know?
Yeah, so
which I didn't
guys
have to let
transgender?
them know.
There's a lot of transgenders?
No.
Or gay? Just gay?
No, on my team, was just all women.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that I've heard that there are transgender women on other teams, especially teams that we're going to play against.
Wait, but that's not fair though.
That's what I said. I don't think that's fair.
That's not
I
fair.
think that
But it makes y'all go harder probably.
I think
it
that
gives y'all more motivation.
I don't give a fuck who we playing. That's how I feel. Sorry. It might be the drink.
Because his tackle
might
be a little rough on you.
That's fine. What's up?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
She
saying?
with it.
So it doesn't bother me.
Right.
It makes me more
motivated.
No,
Like, more like,
not even it makes me mad because it's like, okay, you're gonna put a grown ass man in front of me, but they're not a man, they're a trans woman. So my thing is,
no, they still a man.
They're a man.
But just like my man said, he said,
out of respect, they're trans women.
It's like putting a
basketball
player.
Yeah, because you know they get mad. You call them a woman. They didn't try to transfer.
What I'm saying is, a person that chooses to be who they want to be should have their own access to sports and academics. I believe in certain cases. That's just me personally. Now, how it's going to roll out, I don't even watch sports, but me personally, I just think that if you were born a certain gender and you choose to live a certain life, that you should have a place to go to, a place to be able to indulge in, where it doesn't affect other people and their mental health and their choices in life. That's all I'm saying. I'm looking at it from a mental.
I mean, he was letting the transgenders trying to use our bathrooms and stuff. Remember?
I just feel like
the same shit.
I just feel like where we're at in the world, I just feel like we're kind of past that at this point.
So we just got to deal with what we're dealing with. Right?
Yeah, and the way I see, the only thing that surprises me about it is that I think that biologically our bodies still do what our bodies do. Like when you're in survival mode, I don't think that you could pump me with enough. If I was a man, you could pump me with enough estrogen that if I went into survival mode, that testosterone won't pop out. Exactly. Like I just don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not a scientist, so I really don't know. Right. But I just feel like it's like asking a woman who's very emotional not to cry. Like you put her in a stressful situation, she's gonna cry. Yeah. So it's like women are gonna do what women are gonna do, and men are gonna do what they do. Mm-hmm. But I don't know about the drugs and the hormones and stuff. And I just don't understand that if you put them in a physical sport, how you can block the part of them from coming out of their body.
Right, because they're going to naturally be aggressive.
But I'll play against a heterosexual man.
You just tackled a big subject I just thought about. If a transgender is playing in a regular sport that's not transgender sport, think about this. You're using steroids.
They're using estrogen.
They got hormones.
But now that's why they won't let. I think that's why they won't let women transition it into men play. Transgender men, I don't think can play in our league because of what they're taking. But transgender women can play.
It makes them more soft, like a gentle or something. Like
I don't know
the hormones.
I don't know.
Sorry, wait. Transgender woman is
and bring that level down.
A trans woman is a man who transitioned into a woman.
So they become more weak, like women also. All of that.
I'm really confused now. So if a woman transforms into a man,
she can't play.
She can't play.
No.
But a man is some way.
I think it's because of steroids.
You said if a woman
is more stronger.
To a man,
so when they take steroids, the men taking the women steroids, it makes them more soft.
But if the man transforms to a woman,
they're gonna become more manly.
Which I think
what's going on here?
The two things that I think that is wrong with
crazy. Yeah, we about to wrap this up, man.
We about to wrap it up.
Tell them your information. Tell them your information real quick. My third guest
Julius
that we
Bangs, that's Julius Bangs all together on any social media platform, and just Julius Bangs separate. Just Google me.
We appreciate you for having your comments. We appreciate that. Right. Thank you for having you, and let them know.
Once again, I'm Yane, aka Barber Baddie. That's _ Barber BARBER Baddie BADDID. I'm the owner of 100 Grand, which is spelled out HUNDRED Grand Barbershop at 1012 Fulton, Brooklyn, New York, and it's the first health and wellness barbershop in Brooklyn.
Yes. We got to give a shout out. Make sure y'all check her out. She giving them cuts away. You know, maybe we could put something together, get back to the community one of these days.
Free haircuts for kids 12 and under January 21st.
Yeah, I want to be a part of something. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about that. I can make
make sure y'all subscribe and like
I can make the food and stuff.
I don't know.
But yeah, go ahead, Gino.
Subscribe and like to the YouTube channel. Make sure you do that. And on the page on Instagram, follow us, In Touch with Reality Podcast.
Episode 16.
Yes.
Make sure you guys check it out, and thank you for tuning in and showing love.
Yes.
Thank you, Yanni, for coming.
You're welcome.
Everybody have a
Juliet.
blessed.
We appreciate y'all.
You found the new Party 1019, New York's #1 for